Hello and welcome to the Body Healing Coach. I'm your host Mo Parker, and it's time to put all things health, fitness and wellness right back at the top of our to-do list. In today's episode, we are going to explore mindfulness with a very simple beginner's guide. We'll take a little look at why we want to be mindful, what it is, what it isn't, and then we will have a little mindfulness moment. So why are we being mindful? Well, if we care about our physical and our mental wellness, and we should, then we need some tools to help us. And mindfulness just allows us to have that time out. It creates basic survival skills for those stresses of everyday life. And it helps to protect us from those huge emotional dips that we experience these days. It's been around for thousands of years. It's been appearing in cultures around the world. But modern mindfulness, the kind that we practice today, was created much more recently in New York by a chap called John Kabat-Zinn. I hope I've said his name correctly. He was the founder of the Stress Reduction Clinic, and eventually he put a bit more of a scientific spin on it and changed the name to the mindfulness-based stress reduction. So what is mindfulness? Well, it's a really simple concept, to be honest. I guess it just means that we are paying attention in a very particular way, deliberately paying attention in this very moment. So whatever you're doing now, if you are aware of what you're doing now, that's mindful. And we do it without judging ourselves. We're always trying to be kind to ourselves. So it's just an opportunity, really, to notice our thoughts, feelings and emotions, and to break that cycle of stress, anxiety, and the ultimate exhaustion that comes from that. I like to think of it as a park bench on a sunny day. You can sit there and take some time out and just rebalance the carrier bags of life, moving around all of those stresses created by work, family, personal health, finance, all of the things that bother us these days, and just balance everything out a little bit. But I think it's important, before we do anything else, to just bust a few myths about mindfulness, because it isn't all about meditation. It's a form of mental training. It's not a religion. It doesn't come packaged nicely even. It is something that you have to practice. You can't just do it. Well, you can, but to be really effective, we need to have a little bit of practice and to try and do it every day. And it's definitely not about switching off. I think that's really important. It's quite the opposite, in fact. We need to be here, aware, in this very moment. And although it involves meditation, it's definitely not about sitting cross-legged on the floor wearing nothing but a loincloth. I mean, if that's your thing, go for it. But it's not necessary. There aren't really any hard and fast rules about meditating either. You can meditate for a minute, you can meditate for 30 minutes, much longer than that, and you'll probably be asleep. But it does require patience and practice. You do need to work at it. And the most important thing of all is it's not the answer to all of our problems. It just gives us the space to achieve a little bit of mental clarity. And that's quite important to remember. Now, when we think about our minds, our subconscious mind, yeah, we're going to get deep now, aren't we? I'm sorry. But our subconscious mind can't actually tell the difference between real and imagined. And if we think about a lot of the unhappy, judgmental or self-critical thoughts that we have, that's just our mind trawling through all of our memories and making up potential outcomes for our situation. That's quite scary, isn't it? You know, we're just making things up. And you think about how many times you've imagined a situation, you're waiting to go for an interview and in your head you have that conversation. Your mind is just going through all of your memories and making it up for you. So let's do a little exercise. I love to do this exercise because I don't think people realize how powerful our brains are. So as long as it's safe for you to do so, just take a moment with me. And if you can, close your eyes. Now I want you to imagine you're in a lovely kitchen. Any kitchen. And in front of you there's a big bench with a board on it, and on the board there's a lemon, and beside it there's a sharp knife. Just want you to imagine that you're picking that lemon up, feel the texture of it, have a little sniff, see what it smells like, and then put it down on the board, and with the knife cut it in half, and then just cut a wedge off the one half. Now I want you to take a bite of your imaginary piece of lemon. Ooh, did you go, ooh? Could you taste it? Did your mouth water? Your brain has done that to you. And the mindfulness gain from that is that we realize that our senses are imprinted in our minds. Our mind has picked up the memory of lemons. It's made our mouths water. It's made us go, ooh. It's quite interesting when we realize that our brain can do that for us, or to us. And of course, our mind is constantly racing. It's called the monkey mind. We're just jumping from one thought to another. And if we allow our thoughts to race around uncontrolled, then yeah, we tend to encounter problems. It just all gets out of control. And quite often there's so many thoughts whizzing around in our brains, we don't even know what we're thinking. Now, we do need our thoughts to be running around. That's how we organize ourselves and connect with people and things and within ourselves. But what we need to change is our relationship with our thoughts. And mindfulness offers us a way to welcome thoughts and emotions without judging. It can be a great tool for connecting body and mind back together again, connecting us up with our senses, letting us feel more at home in our bodies, make better decisions, improve our self-esteem. We can become more attuned to our surroundings. We can make meaningful changes in our lives, choosing to eat more healthily, changing jobs when we realize that we've had enough in the one we're in, clearing the way. Now, if you want to be more mindful in this very busy world of ours, there are a few little precepts that are worth taking into consideration. First of all, small changes can make a huge difference. Noticing things to be grateful for can build positive emotions. Taking time to experience things, the simple things. Register the pleasure. Again, building positive emotions associated with simple tasks. And it's worth practicing mindfulness every day in lots of different ways. And we will do a session sometime where we explore very simple things that you can do. But think about ways that you can practice being mindful, just being in this moment and enjoying the sensations. Just simple day-to-day activities. When you're eating, stop scrolling through Facebook. Taste the food that you're eating. Notice the colours. Be aware of the scent, the smells. When you're out walking, think about the sounds you can hear around you. The birds, the scent of flowers, the whisper of the breeze. And there are, of course, plenty of mindful activities. If you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed by things, doing something that is simple but requires your focus is a great way to just get things under control again. So think about things like journaling, writing down all your thoughts, and you can look back at them and realize what was happening at the time. Mindful art. I know my mum had dementia and she used to love to sit and colour in those mindful art books. She had 2 or 3 of them and she had some lovely pens. She was like me, she loved a bit of bling, so we had some glittery pens as well. And we used to sit together and colour. And she loved that. It was so peaceful for her. And then, of course, there's meditation. And I thought today I would give you a nice little meditation that you can actually take with you, put it in your back pocket, and when things are a bit overwhelming or you're a little bit stressed, it's a great thing to be able to draw on to just give you that park bench moment, that time out. So let's get ourselves ready. The first thing that we need to do is to prepare to meditate because we don't want to be distracted. So, making sure that you are in a nice, safe, comfortable place where you're not going to be disturbed, preferably. And we're just going to take a nice, slow, deep breath in, preferably through the nose, but you know what, doesn't matter that much. Hold it for a few seconds if you can. And then slowly exhale the breath a little bit at a time. You can purse your lips and just breathe out gently through the mouth, or however it feels right for you. And you just take a little pause between each exhalation before you begin the next inhale, making sure that you empty the breath. And we're going to repeat that, I don't know, between 3 and 6 times, depends how stressed you are, I guess. But just making sure that we're well prepared. So we inhale, and then we exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale slowly. And we'll do that one more time together. Deep breath. Pull the breath right down to your tummy. And exhale. Now, sitting nice and tall, making sure that our spine is long, but not tense. Try and place the feet flat on the floor. And again, if we can close our eyes, that's great, but at least lower the gaze so we're not distracted. And just let the breath flow. Focus our attention on the breath, observing it, not trying to change it or manage it, letting it flow naturally, but just watching it. noticing it, noticing the sensation of the cool in-breath and the warm out-breath. Just in and out with the natural rhythm of the breath. If you notice your thoughts are wandering, don't judge, be kind to yourself. Just gently bring the attention back to the breath. And then when you're ready, open your eyes. How does it feel? Notice those sensations, those feelings of peacefulness and pleasure. And you can use that anytime, anywhere. It doesn't cost anything. You don't have to carry anything with you. Just the thought that your breath can help you settle and be at peace and just find that little bit of mental clarity. Practice every day. Find your space and just do that for a minute out of your entire day. Practice. You'll notice the difference. Now, last week, I did promise that we were going to focus on a class, but in actual fact, I have changed my mind. It's my podcast, and I can do that. And we are going to feature Class of the Week in another episode because I have another idea around that. However, I did also promise that I would do some shout-outs if people commented on my posts. And I am delighted that some people did comment. I was over the moon. So I'm going to give some shout-outs today to Sheila Carlberg, who was the very first person to show me that she'd been listening to my podcast. She even put a photo up, and it's on my Facebook page. Please go and look at it. And to a lovely lady called Jenny Dutton, who very kindly shared my podcast to her Facebook page and wished me luck with my new venture. Thank you very much. And to Angie Cresswell, who is a local yoga teacher and a friend. And I hope that Angie is going to be on the show very soon to tell us all about the benefits of yoga. So that's it for today. Just a reminder, of course, that you can find me on social media at DeVille Studio on Facebook, at DeVille's Pilates on Instagram, at DeVille Studio on YouTube, which is where you'll find this podcast this time, and on, oh, for goodness sakes, LinkedIn, and on my website, devillespilates.com. So don't forget to go in and sign up for the newsletter that I haven't written yet, and like and subscribe to all my pages because that makes life worthwhile for me. Don't forget as well to invite your friends and family through, because the more people who listen, the better it is for my rankings. I am just upwardly mobile here, so give me a break and send everybody down to my pages and like, subscribe, and listen. And that's about it, really. So our next show, I haven't really made my mind up today. I am thinking about doing the Class of the Week, but it depends who I can get hold of, because I'm lining up people to be on the show with me. So it does depend who's available to be talking to me. So we'll have a think about it. If you've got ideas that you'd like me to explore to do with our health, fitness and wellness, then please get in touch. Drop me a message, post on my Facebook page or on my Insta or anywhere you like. I don't mind. Send me a message on the website. And we'll see if we can accommodate your desires. I'll rephrase that. Let's accommodate what you want to listen to. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's it for today. There is just a thought of the week. I do like to give you something to think about. And because we've been doing meditation and mindfulness, I want you to remember that the breath is always there to return to. It's like an anchor deep inside of you, and it will give you a place of stillness and peace to go to when you're stressed. So, thank you very much for listening. I've been Mo Parker, the Body Healing Coach, and I hope to see you again next time.